Immortal. Yeah. Came out the portal, immortal into a human body. I've been existing way before the earth had Anunnakis. Intergalactical battles, intergalactical travels, infinitely going through stars. The universe will unravel all of its secrets, peep it. I'm starting to leak it. Time for truth is coming 100, it's time to seek it. Expanding my perception through the spectrum of light. I'm going in with spectrum and the shit's out of sight. We indigo children, yeah, we building frequencies through the ceiling. Penetrating through reality, a marvelous feeling. Regardless, we're healing these humans that be claiming we demonic. The resonance goes over their heads, we super cosmic. Your logic is ignorance mixed with fear in your thinking. My pineal gland is flooding, son, that shit don't be blinking. Sinking into your subconscious like a song with no words. The way I come up with these symbols of letters is absurd. Hey yo, my rhymes are like angelic beings. That shit is freeing, so pure that if you were born blind, I'll have you seeing. Breathing in a multi-dimensional light so captivating. Double helix is nonsense, so what I'm activating. Feel the power from within, seeping right through my skin. From the earth into my feet as it goes up to my chin. It got me grinning, rotation like spirals, my music spinning. I told you that I don't be playing, still I'm always winning. Fibonacci to the haters, curve them right to the side. They don't understand the energy, it comes from inside. So inside is what I master, used to be a disaster. Now I'm gladly elevating to a whole new chapter. Yeah, I'm giving birth to a whole new style. I incarnated through New York, yeah, I rep Long Island. Don't get it twisted though, I'm truly repping this earth. I came to free all these humans and show you all what you're worth. Immortal. Yeah, raising your frequencies one soul at a time. As I pass this mic to my boy Spectrum, yo Spectrum, light that up, kid.
They tried to tell me I'm mortal, I told them I was immortal. They asked me what makes me different, I asked them what makes you normal. I just followed my morals and I unfollowed the formal. Hopped on a track with crews, now we straight cruising through portals. I download the Metatron, I'm reversing it till I'm dead and gone. If you think I'm dope, you said it wrong. Not trying to flex, but I'm hella strong. Mine did things you never seen. When I say mine, you know what I mean. I'm the most when I'm in my mode, and y'all average is like the mean. I really didn't mean to go intervene. I'm the middleman chilling in between. You should do the math, we ain't keeping score. But I just hit a 3.14. I cook it up, make it look easy as pie. I'm moving in silence and seeing the sign. I am the G. If you remove me, all you gon' see is your sins. This is a big game of sins. The simulation is breaking again. I'm taking control, creating my soul. And if the truth fits, I'm breaking it in. Breaking it. All I really know is that I'll never know. I've been here for forever, don't know when to go. I think that indicates that I'm an indigo. In that case, I'm in the go. Green light, my heart, chakra booming. Solar plexus, Lexus zooming. You assuming that I'm human. I'm just being what you doing. I've been teaching teachers frequently. It's apparent I'm a parent when it comes to raising frequencies. The way I'm living life, I haven't rest in peace recently. Immortal with my technique, but my ego dying easily. Death is teasing me by leaving me with DMT. Now it seems to me that everything I see is seeing me. Life is just an infinite circle with a twist. I used to wanna be like them, now they do not exist.
Immortal.
Great dawning, Ken. Great dawning. Welcome to our session for aligning with the evolving cycles of time, knowledge, and meditation session. Thank you for showing up. Thank you. We appreciate your presence. And I'm Akil Sharif. I'm gonna break down some of the cycles for you today on this session. We have the Fifth Force Oracle, Moon Goddess Ambrosia, that's gonna talk about the Destiny Oracle for this Olmec and Mayan cosmology that we are studying here. And of course, we have High Priestess Imakaru Amen, the White Galactic Wind, that's going to break down this blue lunar monkey, Kim 171. Happy Galactic Return to Brother Rob. And she's asking us, how do we play with illusions? She's going to show us how we use this monkey to use magic to make that happen. And again, I'm Akil Sharif, the White Crystal Mirror, and I dedicate an order to reflect universalizing order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the crystal tone of cooperation, and I am guided by the power of heart. Ashe, and Asheo. This is the prayer of the 7 galactic directions. And we use this prayer to put our sessions in vibrational alignment, tap in to this focus, to the wisdom, to the transformation, to our ancestors. Sit back and I'm gonna play this recording and I'll be right back.
From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us, so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us, so we may see all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action, so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest, so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum Hunabku Evam Maya E Maho. Ayum Hunabku Evam Maya E Maho. Ayum Hunabku Evam Maya E Maho.
Right, Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. Gratitude to the prayer of the 7 galactic directions. And we are MIMEC, Melanated Immortals, making evolutionary changes. And our mission statement is to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of divine frequency beings with immortal health and immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. Shay, let's read that a couple more times. Our mission is to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of divine frequency beings with immortal health and immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. We're going to lock it in with this one. Our mission is to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of divine frequency beings with immortal health and immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. All right, so this is the melanin frequency visual. And it's a 50, we emit 52 frequency waves. So this is a frequency wave every week or every heptad. And in that we are evolving the consciousness of the melanin dominant population, really evolving the consciousness of the collective. It's world changing. And we include the 52 acts of unity. We include the 52 acts of unity, and this is how we put action behind those frequency waves. And this is a frequency that's been transmitting since the fall equinox of 2019. And we are in the year of the divine unity, where we embody our natural love frequency, living as one in divine unity on earth. And we have some amazing sessions on here. We have some amazing guests. We've had Dr. B. Sirius. We've had Arisha Stone, very powerful sessions. We have the MIMEC priesthood that come up and give some very powerful messages. And of course, HP is always giving us something to help us remember. So you can come check these sessions out on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you need some more information about it, you can go to melanatedimmortals.com. And this is the kin that we are on for this plasma for today. Kin 171, the blue lunar monkey. And the affirmation reads, I polarize in order to play, stabilizing illusion. I seal the process of magic with the lunar tone of challenge, and I am guided by the power of abundance. I polarize in order to play, stabilizing illusion. I seal the process of magic with the lunar tone of challenge, and you are guided by the power of abundance. We polarize in order to play, stabilizing illusion. We seal the process of magic with the lunar tone of challenge, and we are guided by the power of abundance. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. All right, and this is our wave spell. This is our wave spell that we're currently on. It's the white dog wave spell. And the wave spell is 13 kin combined that make this evolutionary cycle. And a kin is composed of a galactic tone, which is a sound that creates a vibration. And this vibration, it moves consciousness, and the archetype is combined with the archetype. The archetype is the frequency of light. This frequency of light contains consciousness that creates evolutionary change. And so when we are tapping into this, we're tapping into nature in a way that helps us create. And so the white dog wave spell is us tapping into aspects of heart, love, and loyalty. These are the qualities of the white dog. And as we go through this wave spell, so you can see the white dog is the first kin on this wave spell. These other 12 kin are helping us cultivate a stronger ability to use that energy to create with. And so for this wave spell, just yesterday we went through kin 170, which is the white magnetic dog. And right now we're going through today again the kin 171, the blue lunar monkey. Shout out to Rob again. Kin 172, the yellow electric human. Kin 173, the red self-existing Skywalker, and that's going to be a happy galactic return to brother my brother Chester. Kin 174, the white overtone wind. And then we have kin 175, the blue rhythmic eagle. Kin 176, the yellow resonant warrior. Kin 177, the red galactic earth. And our sister, the priestess, kin 178, the white solar mirror, priestess Mutma'at Nefer Habiballah. And then we have kin 179, the blue planetary storm. And then kin 180, the yellow spectral sun. And then the red crystal dragon. Kin 181, the fifth force oracle, the priestess initiate Ambrosia. And then kin 182, the white cosmic wind. We ended off with the white cosmic wind. All right. We're going to move on to the Tzolk'in calendar. So this is our Tzolk'in calendar. And this is where you can see the 20 archetypes on the left side of the calendar here. And this is where all 20 of these archetypes meet every one of the tones. So each archetype is going to go through each one of the 13 tones. And this makes 260 expressions of the creator. That's 13 times 20, 260 expressions of the creator. And these expressions of the creator, this is who we are. So this calendar is helping us tap into what we already have inside of us, but just may have forgotten. Even if let's say, so we tap into this, we're tapping into this energy every single day or every single plasma, and it's sparking new ideas, it's sparking confidence, it's sparking ways to overcome challenges. It's, so say it's giving you creativity, even if you are already powerful in your creativity now or your abilities. Following this calendar every single 260 spin is going to help you get even more powerful. We just keep evolving with this calendar. Yep. So, when we work with it, it's guiding us through our intuition, so it's leading us to our greatest potential. And you can see on this calendar, there's 52 green squares. These are the 52 galactic activation portals. 52 galactic activation portals. And these portals, they give us a little more than the subtle. They, when we tap into these, this is amplified energy for us to really go deep into our memory. And we have on the left side is the past portals, which is helping us, overcome the challenges of the past. And these future portals is helping us step into a more radiant future. And we just finished out with these past portals, or with these future portals, where you see the 10 in a row. And those 10 in a row, past and future, very powerful times for us to generate some transformative energy, big time. And as you can see where the black highlight is, that's where we currently are today on this calendar. And the 52 kin that we experience every plasma, you see this is 52 days, 52 plasmas. This is the equivalent to the gestation period. So this is where our spirit was conceived, and it goes through this journey. It's like, the journey through the womb. It's about 9 months. So we go through this journey of going through this process to get us here on this plane, right? And so every time we go through this 260 spin, and we come back on the kin that we incarnated on, that gives us our kin number and our purpose through the affirmation, then we get to celebrate and appreciate, this journey. That this is really the first journey. This is a part of our experience as well, that when the spirit was conceived in the womb, right? And so let's move on to the next slide. This is our 13 moon calendar, but you can also see the kin on here. It's connected with the Tzolk'in calendar, and we also tap into, or we stay connected to the, let me say we stay connected to, but in our society, we're still using that Gregg calendar. But when we synchronize all these calendars, what you're actually seeing is a synchronometer. And by combining the 13 moon calendar, the Tzolk'in calendar, we're actually removing the unnatural effects that are gained by following unnatural time, the Gregorian calendar. So this 13 moon calendar consists of 13 moons, of course. It's 13 moons, and this is the Earth's orbit around the sun. And then we have each moon with its 28 plasmas or days. You hear me saying plasma a lot. We'll talk about that here in a second, but this calendar is taking us out of the days of the week. And so we're following plasmas and heptads. Heptads are a week. We'll get into that in a second. And so with the 28 days and these 13 moons, that's equivalent to 364 plasmas. And so obviously a year is 365. So that one day is the day at a time. So this calendar starts on July 26th every year. And July 25th is the day at a time. So that's where we celebrate the ending of the solar cycle and the beginning of the next solar cycle. Yep, and this helps us dissolve the misalignments caused by following unnatural time. We tap into this, and we start to tap into different aspects of our mind. It helps us remember. Essentially, all of this is helping us remember. And then we have the 7 plasmas, as you can see on the top of the screen here. These 7 plasmas this is semi-liquid electricity. So this is how we tap into consciousness, because consciousness travels through plasma. Plasma it fills all the empty spaces. I mean, we have plasma within us. We get plasma from the sun. And so each one of these different plasmas has a different function, right? And they're all connected to chakras. They're connected to chakras. And so when we focus and tap into them, it actually helps us be more receptive to the cosmic energy, to the kin. We activate the kin. And so the first radio plasma is Dali, and it helps us tap into the crown chakra. When you bring them together, you accessing a certain part of your mind, and it's helping us to develop certain aspects of extrasensory perception. Celi is helping us tap into the root chakra, which is also helping us tap into extrasensory perception. Gamma is us tapping into the third eye, which is also helping us with this extrasensory perception. And then we go to Kali, the fourth plasma, and that's a catalytic energy that's transforming that extra sensory perception energy into telepathic energy. And these next three are helping us develop that telepathy. And so Alpha is connected to your throat chakra, Limi, your solar plexus, Celio, your heart chakra. And I failed to mention that each one of these moons is connected to the 13 tones as well. So right now we're currently in the spectral moon, which is helping us dissolve and release all the things that aren't helping us evolve, so that we can be liberated from that. And we're in the yellow resonant seed solar cycle. Keep that in mind. All right. And so then we tap into heptads. These heptads are hepta is a group of 7, right? But these heptads also have specific energies or specific functions. It's a cycle within a cycle as well. But the first heptad is the red heptad, is where we're initiating new knowledge to help us expand our vision. And the second heptad is the white heptad. The white heptad is where we're refining this knowledge. The third heptad is the blue heptad, where we're using that knowledge to help us transform our conduct. The yellow heptad is where we are ripening, we are developing, we're completing the process from gaining that knowledge. And as you can see, the yellow highlight, we're on the 28th plasma. This is the very last plasma of this moon. So tomorrow we'll be going into the crystal rabbit moon. And 171, Kin 171. This is where we are. All right, so this is our reading for the blue monkey. It's also called the magician. And it reads, I am the magician, coded by the blue monkey. My number is 11, master code. I arise from nothing with self-liberated perception. By means of the double 11, I project multiple realities for the sake of universal transition. As the generator of the blue electrical circuit, I am the blue alchemist, the illusion of my own existence. Projected by my double terminated crystal, I exemplify the enigma of reality, neither coming nor going, neither ending nor beginning. To those who think I am an enigma, I am real. To those who think I am real, I am an enigma. Wherever illusion remains, there I am to dispel and dissolve it. For I hold the magic, For I hold the magic tables and numbers that enter you into the cosmic mind play. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe-O. All right, we're going to jump into some announcements. So y'all want to, grab your pen and your paper, take some notes, see what we got coming up, see what we got to offer, and I'll return shortly after.
Awake, I am today. Daily acknowledges the act of God empowering me to breathe. Represents more time to live, move, and have my being. Amazing I am shows the wonders of light shining on my face. Healed from afflictions, distractions, and manipulations of this world. Strong I am today as the sun shines, wind blows and rain falls, reminding me to stand each test time. Wise as I am today to see the truth at face value and walk with confidence, knowing.
Habitats of weeds, daily supplies. Habitats of weeds, daily supplies. Habitats of weeds, daily supplies. Habitats of weeds, daily supplies.
Awake, I am today. Daily acknowledges the act of God empowering me to breathe. Alive I am today represents.
All right, we are back. We are back. I just looked in the comments, Isaac 9, that melanin frequency is a vigil. We sending out a vigil to raise the consciousness of the melanin dominant population, consciousness of the world. All right, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Moon Goddess Ambrosia is up, the fifth force oracle of Moon Goddess and the Healing Arts, one of the synchronistic human school of enlightenment instructors. And she's a MIMEC priestess initiate. You know, it's always a pleasure for me to bring her up. You know, she gives us some powerful insights, you know, and they really help us remember. She helps us dig in a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Dig in a lot with her insights. So with that, I yield the mic.
Peace, wholeness, and divine blessings, everyone. I am Moon Goddess Ambrosia, the Fifth Force Oracle, and I am also Kin 181, the Red Crystal Dragon, and I am here to share the Cosmic Oracle reading of Evolution, aka the core reading for us on this plasma. I definitely want to give gratitude to all of MIMEC, Synchronistic Human, Moon Goddess and the Healing Arts, and all of you, all of us that are here to cultivate this mission that we have in MIMEC to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population. And so I appreciate High Priestess, my aunt, for having this platform for us to really come together and grow so we can make these shifts. And with that, I give thanks to Nabtaharka, Baba Wanik as well for also setting the stage and bringing all of these gems that we get to tap into. And so shout out to Brother Akil for opening up the session for us. I'm definitely looking forward to coming back to the recording to see what gems he dropped um, that that I needed to hear. So may that you all have been taking your notes and continue to take notes throughout the session. And so we're going to go ahead and continue moving forward with the reading for this plasma. And I want to start by getting us prepared for this reading by connecting with the mindset of a synchronaut. So this is recognizing that we are living expressions of divine energy and motion, here to remember what our divine purpose is so that we can consciously create and fulfill our soul's mission in all spaces of time. And so on this plasma particularly, I want us to focus on how we are fulfilling our soul's mission. And so just keep that in mind as we move forward and get into talking about the kin of this plasma. And so the goal is for us to tap into our own kinergy and take that to the next stage in, fulfilling our purpose and continuing our evolution throughout this new wave spell that we began on yesterday. And so in order for us to do that, I want to encourage us to affirm our personal galactic signature affirmations. And so we're going to speak it out loud, pace yourself as you do it so that you can really breathe in the energy, connect with what you're feeling and different thoughts that may come up for you as you state your affirmation. And so we're going to start this by saying, as a living expression of, then you're going to say your kin number, its name, and then your galactic signature. And so let's go ahead and unify our energy so that we can operate in harmony with this mission. And so let's begin. As a living expression of Kin 181, the red crystal dragon, I dedicate in order to nurture, universalizing being. I seal the input of birth with the crystal tone of cooperation. I am guided by the power of space. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. And so there it is. We shall be in a space where we are feeling some energies in motion within our being. Pay attention to, how it feels and, what it's revealing to you about how you can fulfill your soul's mission. Particularly for me, as I stated, mine what stood out was I dedicate. So being dedicated to the nurturing, being dedicated to nurturing us in a way where we remember our wholeness, like put together in our minds that we are a whole being, like we've always been whole. It's just that, we might have forgotten or misplaced those thoughts in our minds. And so we are recalling all of those things so that we can move forward in our evolution. And so again, Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. Let's go ahead and talk about Okay. And so let me go ahead and move forward here. So remember that the main question that we're focusing on, the main question that we're focusing on with this kin of the plasma is, what is my challenge? What is your challenge? What is our challenge? And focusing on bringing some stability to these illusions. And so, when we play with these illusions, we get to polarize the different challenges or be able to identify the polarities of how we're navigating towards creating the divine abundance um, of our mission. And so this oracle reading is meant to inspire us to be present, to be wakeful, to be aware that we are divine synergy in motion. We have the divine creative essence within us, and we get to explore different ways of accomplishing our mission. And so throughout this oracle reading, just continue to stay mindful of that. And whatever has came up for you, I want you to use that as an example. I want to say use it as an example so that you can focus in and start to understand or dive deeper in understanding how this can also be utilized in other areas of your life and your experience as well. So you can look at personal development. You can look at the way that you connect with other people, your family, your spouse, co-workers, your communities. You could look at it in the sense of how to operate better, even in those different communities that you're in, and also what you're seeking to contribute. All of these things can correlate to how you're being shown now in this present moment to walk in that wakefulness and fulfill your soul's mission. And so when we look at the oracle reading, again, in the center, we're focusing on stabilizing the illusions. And when we're up, excuse me, I had to take a moment to breathe. All right, there we go. All right, so with us focusing on stabilizing these illusions that we have when it comes to these different challenges, we're being guided by that blue lunar night. So we're moving in the direction of, or we're moving the way that we direct our energy and our thoughts towards stabilizing our intuition. So, for example, say that your mission is okay. So I'm gonna just continue to use myself. So my mission is to cultivate and nurture a holonomic consciousness, being able to for all of us to see how we're all interconnected within ourselves and with each other. And so some of the challenges that I may experience with that is, if I'm not honoring my inner self, being whole within myself, that could create some challenges when it comes to engaging with other people. So I can focus on stabilizing those illusions. So just observing what I'm experiencing in that moment, so I can see the dreams and the goals, or that the blessings that I want to come from me cultivating this type of consciousness within myself. And that's what's going to help to stabilize my intuition. So the same thing with you, whatever those challenges are, you want to keep your focus on what's actually contributing to you completing that mission or accomplishing that mission. And so that will bring that stability to how you listen and be receptive to the intuition, to what your intuition is showing you about how to, move forward in cultivating this. And so when we look now to the left, the mental body represents challenges. So this is bringing in that reminder that these challenges that we face are actually meant to strengthen us in holding the focus and bringing out the gift of it. And so when it comes to us recognizing the different challenges that we're experiencing with these illusions, we have the red lunar dragon in our mental body that's encouraging us to nurture our purpose, nurture the birth of what we're creating, and doing that through stabilizing our being. And I apologize for the typos. Goodness, I got to get it together, y'all. um, but anywho, it should say stabilize our being. So that's the part that's initiating us in having the focus, us recognizing, okay, before I create something externally, let me look within myself, within my mindset. How am I, or what illusions that I have that may be interfering with me being stable within my own being? So we get to explore um, looking at how we can enlighten our lives and tap into our wisdom. So when we break those things down and look at the pros and the cons per se of how we are nurturing ourselves, that will also help us to again help stabilize some of these illusions that we have been carrying. Okay, so when it comes to the challenges, basically this is saying to stabilize it by nurturing yourself. So it's like getting into the mindset of, okay, let me focus on nurturing myself so I can really stay true and loyal to within my heart to communicate from my spirit. And that's what's again going to stabilize the illusions. All right. So we can now look at the emotional body where we have the white crystal dog. And the emotional body is where we get the fuel. We get to tap into our emotions, our energies in motion, to that's actually fueling our focus, which is stabilizing illusions. And so we have the white crystal dog here that is encouraging us to generate that energy in our heart space, generate that love in our heart space, that joy in our heart space, to universalize our loyalty. So what that means is making it whole and concrete within ourselves will also help us to make it whole and concrete in the way that we navigate and engage with others, and actually put this, turn our dreams into a lived experience. And so this is basically saying, like, um, get in tune with your emotions today. The emotions of you connecting with your heart. Um, get into your emotions about, what you love. Get into your emotions about what you're loyal to, those type of things. And so for me, I have recognized that I'm loyal to, this holonomic consciousness, because I've felt what it was like to not feel like I knew what my purpose was, like to feel kind of like out of the box from everything else. You know what I'm saying? Or, I just felt this disconnect. And so that helped me to strengthen that loyalty. Is like, no, I know I'm not disconnected from everything, or, from these different elements or people, places, and things. I'm connected to all of it, So by me, using that as my fuel, that's helping me to, again, also stabilize those illusions. And so, last but not least, let's look at the physical body, where this is the position where we now can support how we are flowing with this internal energy and expressing it on the external, or how also, I'm not, also I'll say, is how our external experiences are influencing our internal experiences as well. So it works in both ways when it comes to the physical body. It's internal and it's also external. And so with us having the yellow lunar star sitting here, it's encouraging us to beautify the elegance to stabilize the art. So what this means is that when we look at the challenges that we're facing, when we recognize and become dedicated to what we are loyal to in our hearts, the yellow lunar star is telling us, okay, now let's stabilize the art, stabilize the way that we are elegantly creating and beautifying it and expressing it internally and externally. So also I want to share the perspective of another perspective of looking at what art means. I also see art as practicing. So, like, what are you practicing? How are you practicing bringing stability to the illusions? How are you practicing communicating from your heart? How are you practicing nurturing yourselves? How are you practicing uh, I already said that, being dedicated to your heart space, So this is what's going to support us in actually taking something intangible, all of these thoughts, feelings, our goals, all that stuff internal that we dream of, and making it or expressing it in our physical experience. We got to allow ourselves to gracefully practice that patience and transform the way that we're conducting ourselves and beautifying the art that we are here to create and the art of who we are. And so essentially, this whole Destiny Oracle is inspiring us to stay present, to stay in that wakeful space, not to get caught up in the illusions, not to get caught up in the rush of the world, and being able to operate in such a space that helps us to navigate a lot better as we explore and continue to evolve in our journey. And so with that, that is going to conclude our oracle reading for this plasma. So may that you all have received some divine gems. May that this reading have inspired you to think about different ways to play with your loyalty, being loyal to that spirit in your heart, and also remember that play is talking about enjoying it. I feel like High Priestess may mention that in when she gets up here to drop her gems, that play. We want to, I want us to have fun with being divine beings. Okay. So, with that, take this reading, your gems, the insights, all that wisdom that has came up for you throughout this reading, and use that to enjoy your creation today. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and get off here before I start rambling. So I love y'all. I appreciate all of you. And I shall talk to you on the next one. So much love and gratitude. Peace.
All right, much gratitude, Moon Goddess. That was inspiring, very much so. I like how you talked about the heart, staying connected to it, staying focused on like the things that you love, and being connected to your heart space in a way that allows you to be present to create the art. And you're talking about the physical body. That was great. Thank you so much. Um, we got High Priestess Imakaru Amen coming up to the stage, our visionary leader and spiritual guide, extraordinary teacher, harmonizing inspirer, committed mother, powerful goddess, soulful healer. And her perspectives, man, I love how they challenge the old concepts, She'll give you something, like reminding us that you might have a condition, but it is not your limit, and you cannot forget that. Like when she says it and something comes up, you now you got that. Now that's your ammunition. She gives us so many things like that I'm grateful, and I'm honored to bring her to the stage. And I yield the mic to HP, High Priestess.
From
the high priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. The high priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. It's time we come together to raise our consciousness. Amen. The high priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. Amen. Amen. The high priestess, the mimic who pulled me in. Amen. It's time we come together to raise our consciousness.
All right. Great dawning, everyone. Am I being heard? All right, I think I am. So yes. Welcome everyone again to Aligning with the Cycles. And I'm very excited this dawning, just because, right? No reason not to be. So welcome. Give thanks, Brother Akil, for being our host and giving us all of the information about the cycles within the cycles within the cycles. One of the things I like that he says is that when we, on each plasma, these archetypes, these solar seals, they're like divine counselors, right? And that's something I always remember that Brother Akil talks about, is that these are our divine counselors. So each and every plasma, we have a counselor that we can tap into. And then we had Moon Goddess Ambrosia break down, a perspective of how to operate within that council on this plasma. So give thanks to Moon Goddess Ambrosia, the Fifth Force Oracle, for giving us that oracle reading. And and all of you, right? We just excited to be here on this plasma. And shout out to Brother Rob Kim 171. Happy galactic return. And let's get into it. All right. So we just started this wave spell of love, right? We can say that, right? The wave spell of the white dog. It's a wave spell, again, all of these are perspectives. And as you get into this cosmology, you start using these divine counselors in your so-called day-to-day life, you will start to get your own insights about how these archetypes work. I'll tell you something interesting. It's something real interesting. One of the things, those of you who are in our 13 tones class, right? We, as we're going through what's called our 52-year cycle. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. Just listen to the story, right? What that does is it shows you your patterns, right, throughout your life. Now, why is that beneficial? It's beneficial because then you can see how it'll show you how you have evolved, right? Not always what your problems are, but it can show you your evolution over time, right? And then if you find that there are areas that you're stuck in, right, then you can kind of get ahead of it and say, okay, I understand when I'm in these cycles, this is what's, this is now how I need to operate. I'm saying all of this because something interesting happened. I'm in this point in my life where I made a decision to do something, and it something clicked in, and it said, wow, you know what, this is just like the time. Some of the same, not the exact same circumstances or situations, but similar things were happening in and around the time that I actually decided to move to the Washington, or to stay in the Washington, D.C. area when I was in college, right? And so some of those same things are happening around this time. And I said, you know what? I need to go back and see where that was. Where was I? You know, what was happening? And so I just went back to when, at that time, school started, all schools started, or in college, we started right after Labor Day. So I went and I looked to see where Labor Day was in that year. And I said, oh my God, it was in the White Dog Wave spell. Now, that's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence, because there were similar. Okay, DC in the house. All right. There were similar things happening at that time. Right. And now these same similar things are happening now. And I said, what, I know I wasn't in the same cycle as, we go through 4 cycles: initiating, refining, transforming, and then completion or ripening. Right. So I know I wasn't in transformation at that time. So I said, well, why is it so similar? It was this wave spell. Right. So I said, okay, this made me take a little closer look. Right. So these are cycles within cycles within cycles. And you will find that you have these similarities. You literally left a breadcrumb trail. Like, this can help you. If you are in a space where you don't know where to go, or you're not sure, what's going to happen in my life now? How is this going to be? Right. This gives you a roadmap. It's like a map, right? It's a map to your destiny on earth. This is not, I say this all the time. I'm one of those, I'm a so-called, whatever the title is, high priestess, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Right? But I'm one of them people that, like in the Bible, right? Where, Jesus is supposed to be Jesus, but went in there, was kicking over the tables and stuff in the synagogue, right? That's me, right? It don't matter what cosmology it is. It doesn't matter where it came from. It don't matter who did it. Right? We as divine beings on earth are always primary. Always. So any cosmology, including this one, right, is here to guide you. We put this in place. We left these things here. So because in this time, we knew that we would be in a time of remembrance. Right? Putting these pieces back together, and not so we can call our power back, right? One of them terms, right? I'll be like, no, right? Don't call your power. Just be in power. Evolve the power. You don't want to call back something that first got you enslaved. I know. I just came in pulling the rug. I don't know. That's that white dog energy, right? Why would you want to call back something that where we didn't know that this was coming and we allowed it? Right? No, we want to, as we call it, ancestral wisdom evolved so it will never be there again. Right? That's why we say that, yeah, Mama tell you that. Yes. So that's why we say an everlasting legacy of divine frequency beings, because it ain't gonna be no more. We're not going to a revolution. This is an evolution. It's no need to ever have those experiences again on this plane. We here now. We up. Right? We up. We woke up. And we said no more. Not on this plane. Not on the plane that we come to feel ourselves, to love consciousness in physical form. We came here, we slowed down the frequency so we could feel what it feels like to be divine consciousness in a physical form. And so on this plane, we didn't come here for no pain and suffering. We didn't come here to always be what do you call it? A victim that anybody anywhere can decide what they want to do. 3, 5, 6 men, white men sitting around the table, and maybe a couple of white women decide for the whole planet. What if we want to make a decision for the whole planet? That it has an everlasting legacy of high frequency beings, or divine, we changed it, divine frequency beings. What if we decide that we want to make that decision for the planet? I think we already did. Right? We done it. I say it's done. We made the decision. We've been transmitting a frequency since the fall equinox of 2019. That was before COVID. That was before anything. We put out 52 frequencies, divine frequencies, to shift the consciousness, and we have a whole priesthood around it. We have a whole membership. And even if you're not a member of the priesthood, right? Why are you here? Because you say, you know what? Me too. That's the same thing. I got the same thing. Y'all just put it in the mission statement. That's why I'm here too. Transmitting this frequency. So when you talk about love and loyalty, see how we just got into that heart space off the drop. Right? Love and loyalty, both of those words, when you look at them in the ancient cosmologies or the way they are used, they go back to law. Loyalty goes back to law, so does love. See, when you love something, right, it's in your heart, right? You get in your feelings, like we heard Moon Goddess talk about, right? You get in your feelings about it. It's at your heart. We didn't come here. And so when you think about it, like, why are we here? We're not here to be no victims. We're not here to just, anybody can decide, oh, they just, sit around the table, pass some papers and say, oh, we're going to put dampeners in the water. We're going to put it in the air. We're going to put it in the food, even the organic food and all of that stuff. We're going to just spray up everything. Right? That can't do shit if we decide that. We can decide that we are not going to give way to any of that, because we are direct expressions from the Creator. We are direct from source. So what does that make us? A resource, source again, and over and over. And that's why you want to use a reword, source, over and over and over again, no matter what. So whatever chemicals are in the air, whatever dampeners or wherever, it's not always, we're not here to just keep responding to that. We're here to say no more. You can't do it. You can't do nothing. We were here before matter and matters. Come up out of the waters of Nu, the primordial waters. Come on, y'all. I see y'all in the chat. Right? That's where our heart space comes from. And so whatever matters, we get to determine that. We get to decide how this earth plane is going to be. And we don't always have to be, we're not coming from no deficit. No, I ain't gonna say no more, but we're not coming from no deficit. Everything is not about what we have to respond to. Right? Let's just be source and be resourceful in our own frequencies and says none of this shit. We're not doing it. We're not responding to that. None of that is going to affect our bodies any. I was gonna say any longer. I'm checking my words, right? I'm working on my words. Right? It's not going to affect the bodies. Start talking to your cells like that, all of them. Have a long conversation with your physical. Right? It is you in the physical form. You came here to feel love. This is love. Right? To feel consciousness, to feel divinity. This is it. Be loyal to that. Right? Love that. And then you're not worrying about it's no dampener. Right? That can come in and what's that? I have what's playing in my head is ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no to keep me away from you. I don't know the word. Okay. I don't know the words in the right order, right? But you know what I'm saying? That's the song you sing to self. That's source. That's the unencumbered you singing that to self. Nothing. Stop being in response mode. Right? I sound like a white dog, don't I? Right? That's how they do them compassionate ones. They speak from the heart. They do that. What's that? The hard love, not the hard love. What is it? Tough love. Right? Compassionate one. We always think about the compassion. You know, when you think about compassion, right? You're thinking about the compassionate one just being, let's just go get some flowers. I have not yet met a white dog or a compassionate one who does that first. They come out the gate like I just did, right? And then they might do a little bit of the huggy, lovey things, right? So all of the archetypes in this wave spell, right, have that. They're the feelers, right? You in this wave spell, we got a whole crew of folks in this wave spell, right? Yeah, we got a whole crew. And they feel deeply. Right? You can hear it in the way that they come through. So what we're doing here, right, is we are refining, we are showing the process of love and loyalty. But it comes from source. How do we know that? Well, let's go in here. Let's see, right? Let's see, right? So what we have right here, squad deep, y'all so funny. I love it. So what we have right here, if you look on the far right hand side, right, we heard Brother Akil talk about this. This is the Zokin. This is the harmonic module, right? And it shows you basically what this is what's in that on the left-hand side in that little circle, right? It's that wheel that a priest or a priestess goes and they turn it every single day, right? And so this, right? So what this harmonic module does is allows you to enter into to get the frequency of that wheel, right? By going into the program. And what do I mean by that, right? It's laid out flat for you in a two-dimensional space, which is a lot of what this program is. Two-dimensional space, not three. That's what I said. I think people be giving third dimension a bad rap, right? Because most of the time, we're not in three dimensions, we're in two. Left, right, up, down, side, side. Good, bad. It's either this or that. This or that. This or that. Okay. You can get with this or you can get with that, right? All right. I guess we got the monkey badger coming in. Okay. Right. So this gives you a two-dimensional way to get into the the cosmic science, the divine science, right? And so when you look at this module, right, this shows us where we are on this Zoken module, in the Zoken, on the spin, right? And so what we did is we said, okay, here's a perspective of how you can go through this spin. So the first one, of course, is a new birth and a new being. That's when we started with kin number 1, right? And then we went into the second cycle where we explored our prophecy and came out with the influence, the wise influence, right, of our will, right? We allowed our will to be free. Then we attuned our life force. That was what we just completed. That's what we went through them portals. Past portals, the future portals in the now, right? And came out with awareness, divine awareness, leading us into completing this evolutionary cycle. Say, hey, what up? It ain't nothing else to do but evolve now. Because we just got tuned up by all the portals, and then now it's time for us to evolve again. Right? And evolution, when we talk about evolution, we're talking about evolution is efficient. It doesn't backtrack. It's not going back. We're not going back to 2 galaxies. That's inefficient. We're not going back to 2 dimensions. It's inefficient. Right? So we're completing this cycle. And so let's take a look here at how we're, I went too fast, at how we're doing that, right? So we're here, right? Oh, this is a beautiful slide. Where the priestess moved at? I'll tell you, she is really, man. When I got to stop talking just to look at the slide, just look at the graphics, right? Okay, so we just completed that cycle, right? And we of where we had our awareness, where we know now where things blossom for us, because we just went through that whole thing, right? Then we went into evolution. And remember, I was saying the heart, feeling, the heart space, it comes from source. Why am I saying that? We started with the red earth wave spell, right? The red earth, right, is the navigator from source, the navigator of evolution and synchronizing things from source. right? We know we have 4 archetypes that sit in that quarter of the creator. The first one is the red earth. It starts synchronized out the gate. The first thing it does is say, okay, we source, we resource, right? And then we're going to start. And so what do? We evolve. So we're going to start navigating this evolution, right? And so when we get to, I'm just turning my phone off because it keeps, I don't want to beep. So we got revved up with this red earth wave spell. It wasn't asking questions. It ain't no question to ask, right? You just went through the wave spell of the yellow seed where you saw it was a cycle of completion. You completed the cycle of attuning to your life force. Now we're going to evolve it from source, not from your problems, not from your situations, your circumstances, your issues, your traumas, dramas, karmas. It's evolving you out of that. It's more efficient to operate as source or from source than to always be responding to a problem, right? A situation, a circumstance. It's more efficient because you have more access to yourself. Remember, because you are source on earth. You're divinity walking, right? And so now we're in the time of remembering that. So ain't no mountain high enough, right? To keep source away from you. Ain't no dampeners strong enough, right? To keep you in a position of forgetfulness. At a certain point, it's going to be like, in the movie, in the movies, when you remember, like I think about, what's that movie? Who was that lady? Well, one of the Marvel movies, right? Where this lady had got hit by this wave, this frequency wave. Miss Marvel, somebody, whatever. But anyway, I think that's the character, right? And she had, they were channeling her abilities. They put this dampener on her so her abilities could be channeled a certain kind of way. And then she said, you know what? I forgot I've been operating. You know what? The problem is I've been operating with my one hand behind my back. That's us. Right? We don't have to worry about going out of control. Because divinity has its own, it doesn't have that thing. That's a war concept. That you're gonna, if you have all your power, you're gonna destroy everything. Why is that? What if you had all of your abilities? You would wake up and say, hey, wait a minute. Why is all the water, the ocean water on the East Coast gray instead of blue? And you just put your hand in the water. And it looked like the water in the Caribbean. That's what it's supposed to look like. Hey, somebody else all your energy comes on and you can see in the sky, you can see the little whatever they put in here. Say, wait a minute. And you just boom, put your frequency out and change. Ain't no more dampeners in the air. All the planes, as soon as they get ready to go up in the air and spray the stuff in the sky, for some reason, those planes don't work. The other ones do. That's just doing regular, ordinary things. But every time they get to go up, it's going to be some engine power. All the planes down. They all down. They're like, what is happening? You know, it's something interesting. When we take the chemicals out the plane, we can fly them. Right? Because what would a you know, that's funny. I see that, you know, they say, what would Jesus do? Right? But what would a divine being do on earth? There's just, you know what? We didn't do this. We didn't create this place like this. Let's go and clean this shit up. No more of that. Just no more of it. We don't, no discussion. It ain't nothing to talk about. No, not doing it. It just won't work because the frequency is not available for that stuff to work. No more. It's not going to happen. It doesn't work. Right? So we're not going to wake up and just be like, ah, and stuff just going to be all over the place. No. It's something called divine intelligence, right? That's how this wave spell, this cycle ends. We're using both the emotional mind and the logical mind. They work together, not separately. You got to feel it and know it, and know what to do with what you feel. That's a balanced brain. Right? So these things, it's more efficient. When I said it's more efficient to operate from source, as source. It's more resourceful, right? To operate that way. That's what we started when we were in this red earth wave spell. Yes, Mama OJ, Yimmy, can you feel it? Come on, we got the Jackson 5 up here too, right? Y'all can't be putting that in the chat. I'll be hearing the stuff in my head, right? I'll be hearing the songs play in my head. I don't think you want to hear me sing it, but you know, so we're here in this, you know, so that's what we started. We started evolving from source, being more efficient, right? I say, we started being more efficient, navigating from source, synchronizing from source, being evolutionary, right? So we gotta, you know, we can put the red, black, and green on, but we can also put on the red, white, blue, black, and yellow wristband. You put the fit, you know, and they don't need to be no fists because ain't no fight. It's a frequency, right? We like this. It's a frequency. We decide. Then that takes us into, you see how evolution is more efficient. And then we refine it in this dog wave, this white dog wave spell. I bet y'all feel I bet you feel yourself in your heart space right now, right? You got it amplified a little bit, right? You got a little pumped up. That's how you go into this dog wave spell. That's why it's the refiner showing you the process. Right. And it starts with the refinement of it. Right. Because this red earth wave spell ended with process. It ended with the flow. Right. And then the white dog now takes it to this next level. Right. Yeah, I'm looking at the chat. Y'all funny. High priestess raps. Y'all so funny. So yes. So now that we in the heart space, let's go and look into this white dog, right? And then when we finish, you know, we're gonna in about 12 plasmas, right? We're going to be in this, the night. That's a jubilee, right? That's the dream space of abundance. Why? Because we more efficient. We feeling it from our soul. And then now we're going to spread and we're going to transform into that abundance when we get into this night wave spell, and then end it with the intelligence, divine intelligence that, leads us to this next pathway, right? This next journey. I say, man, come on, y'all got me going, right? All right, so let's talk about this blue lunar monkey, right? Who got me over here singing and rapping and doing all kinds of stuff, and then right, we polarize in order to play. Stabilizing illusion. We seal the process of magic with the lunar tone of challenge, and we are guided by the power of abundance. I say. All right. So let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about this wave spell. Like I said, right? All of the archetypes in this wave spell, you see how they feel. So y'all know some people in this wave spell? Tell me if they are not all heart. They feel things deeply. Don't mean nobody else does. I'm just saying it's their specialty, right? Everybody gets their shine. Every wave spell, everybody get their shine, right? So now we shining on the ones in this white dog wave spell, right? They be feeling things. Y'all done seen Priestess Moot up here, right? She's a feeler. She be like, yes, it's so, right? Right. So yeah, let's go through it. Let's walk through it. And we hear Brother Akil. Shout out to Brother Akil. He went and he gave us a breakdown of this wave spell. I'm just gonna do the first three. Right? Because on the next one, I'll come back and do the rest of them or part of them. I don't know. We're going to see. I don't know what I'm going to do until I get up here, right? But I'm going to focus on these first three, right? Because these are the ones, this is the process. It's showing you the process of the heart. This is why I say this wave spell is like the weighing of the heart. That the white dog has a component similar to Ma'at, because it's about the true heart space. If you truly feel yourself from source, if you truly feel yourself from the earth and throughout the cosmos, right? Or as in, again, they say the earth as it is in heaven, right? We heard Baba Waniki broke that down. Slow that down. Meaning the earth is in heaven, right? So what are we doing? Heaven on earth. Resource on earth. Universe on earth. Divinity on earth. That's what we bring. That's what's in our heart. We didn't come for pain and suffering. No, that's done. That may have been a time period, but we're in a new time now. We're in an evolutionary cycle right now, and everything in the cosmos is telling us that. The poles are shifting. The sun is shifting, right? There's so many solar flares, right? Out here. There's gamma rays. There's all kinds of things that's hitting the earth at this time. And in this cosmology, right? We're at that period. That 26,000 year period as well. Everything is saying that. Right? So the process of the heart, the weighing of the heart, says, what is the truth right? This first one, Kin 170, right, says, I unify in order to love. One love, right? Right? I unify in order to love, right? Attracting loyalty. I seal the I was gonna say input. I'm thinking about my own signature. I seal the process of heart with a magnetic tone of purpose, and I'm guided by my own power doubled, right? And so we begin to attract that oneness, right? Our divine love frequency. So we operate as one on earth, right? Sound like the melanin frequency theme for the year? Mm-hmm. Right. So we unify with that. Why? Because we're not going into this fixing everything. It's a time, like I said, eventually we're going to get to the point where we're not going to be speaking from those terms. Right? Speaking about always having to fix something, always having to heal from something, because we know the truth that's on them scales of my eye is that we are whole anyway. Now, in the slower realm, right, it may take so-called time. You know what they say? Something heals time. Something, I don't know the statement, but over time. Or how about, as a divine being, we talk about synchronizing things. See, then you're not. Time is a trap sometimes, right? It may be a trap, but think about things synchronizing. That's why we talked about that ashe, right? It's aligned, it's synchronized, and it's efficient. Synchronicity includes time. But you see how you don't feel as nervous when you looking at things synchronizing, because you know it's a process to that, right? This and that, and but time, you run out of time, right? Time makes you nervous, as Baba Wanique says. You know, you begin to feel intimidated in time and dates. Synchronicity don't do that. It says, okay, well, wait a minute. What? So you may find if you shift into being in synchronicity, then you will know, wait a minute. If you look at some things that you are under pressure with, right, because of time, if you look at it in a synchronistic way, you might say, wait a minute. It's not, you use your ashe, it's not in alignment. It's not even available to be synchronized and be efficient, right? So maybe I'm going to ask, what is then? If this is not, let me put a pin in that. What's in alignment? What's synchronized, right? So now, okay, I start talking about 170, right? And then I'm looking in chat. Oh yeah, time heals all wounds. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, right? So when we're in this weighing of the heart process, right? The second thing that comes up is what we're going to be talking about today, Kim 171, right? That says, I polarize in order to play. So it's saying, hey, listen, you're going through that process. Imagine yourself in the halls on my eye, right? And 42 assessors. That's why, you know, what's the term? Be slow to judge. There are 42 assessors not two. Not good and just good and bad, left and right and wrong. It's not just right and wrong. See, sometimes people skip to the scale. That's two things. But really, if you look at that scene, there's a third. There's a Tahuti is holding the scales, right? There's a weighing process right there. There's a third dimension to it. That's a whole nother a whole nother thing, right? So when those 42 assessors, right, there are different varieties of ways. There are different perspectives to look at the same thing, right? So when we go into 171 is saying polarize, break this up. Let's see if what you are holding in your heart is really from source. This is a perspective. If something does not belong there, right, it's trying to hide, right, that blue monkey gonna get it. It's gonna see it, right? Because it says I polarize in order to play. So play, right? We always talk about the etymology of the word. It means to dance of joy. Playing is a dance of joy. So can you separate and verify and validate all of the different perspectives of your life and dance and joy? Right? Stabilizing illusions. We're gonna talk about this, right? We're gonna talk about that. I want to go to this next one, right, real quick, and then I'm gonna flip back to 171. Right? Once we're able to stabilize that energy, then we're going to finish off this first part, this weighing of the heart process, by going into 172. And of course, that's my daughter, right? My daughter is Kim 172, right? Where we then are going to activate, right, our influence. Influence just means inflow, but it's in flow with matter and matters, right? And what matters? And what matters? Being source on earth. What I talked about when I first started. That's being in flow with matter and matters. That's the free dominion of divine will. What matters is remembering self, remembering yourself from source. And again, I shout out to Moon Goddess. We heard her talk about this in her oracle reading. Right? That's what matters. Bonding with wisdom, wise dominion. Right? With the electric tone of service. What are we here to do? Why are we here? What are we doing? Sealing in the process of free will. If we allow divine will to be free, again, like I said, we're not worried about being totally in our power and it's going to go and everything is going to blow up. No, everything is going to shift. We're going to change the air that we breathe. We're going to change the water that we drink, the food, everything. Because we won't be in that dulling will be gone. We'll say, oh man, okay. And it's not about, maybe some of the warriors, they might go get some people, right? There might be some slow singing and flower bringing. I mean, maybe some people might get dealt with, but we can also just dampen that shit. Put the dampeners on all of that. We're not doing that. Right? So we bond this to a service. We allow divine will to be free and guided by the power of divine intelligence, which is how this whole cycle ends, right? So let's talk about this blue monkey. Let's hear a little bit more about the process of transforming, the transformation before we get to that point, right? Because what do we know? Red initiates, white refines, blue, black transforms, right? And yellow completes the cycle, right? So let's go. Oh, priestess move. You got to stop it. Well, don't stop. Well, oh my God. Girl, these slides are off the charts. Okay, we polarize. We polarize in order to love, stabilize, and loyalty. So we polarize. We are, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for that because I mean I ain't look at the slides before they got up here. Okay, all right. I like being surprised, right? So we are verifying and validating. That's what I talked about, right? So when we polarize something, right? You polarize, you separate. That means to separate so you can see everything, right? And I put the wrong thing on there. It should be, I did that. It should say in order to play, right? We polarize in order to play. So we are separating these things out, and we dance with joy. Once we start looking at all of these things, is there something hiding underneath? Is there a subliminal thing? Right? Because we know that this blue monkey is the master magician. So when the blue monkey polarizes, hold on, get from over there. Let me see. You know you can't play with that. Right? This blue monkey speaks with the heart of the compassionate one. Right? The primary role, as we, as you learn in the 13 tones, right? Whatever position you are in that wave spell, that's what you do. Right? That's what Big Mama say you do. This is what you do, right? You know how it is. Big Mama put you in charge and say, they say you in charge. Yep. Everybody, you in charge of this. You the blue lunar monkey. You in charge of looking in between this stuff and seeing what those subliminal things are, because you can't hide illusions from the master magician. Right? So this verification process, we're looking at those subliminal things so that we can play with our true heart. There are no illusions, right? And as we say, when we talk about our illusions, right? I'll use them. Why? Because we source. We not, always got to be under, as we say, the situation that I'm in. You know how you say that? Well, how about the situation that you're in is source? The situation that I'm in is I'm source on earth. And I'm remembering how to use that. So these illusions, I'll use them because I'm source. I'm not underneath those illusions. I'm not coming from no deficit. I ain't coming from no defense. I'm not in combat. I'm not in war. Right? We polarize in order to love. In order to play, to dance with joy. And as you can see what Priestess Mood has on here, they dancing with joy. Right? I messed this whole thing up, right? Stabilizing illusions. That's what that should say. Stabilizing the illusions that we gonna use them. Stabilizing the illusions. As we said, I use ions. I'm gonna use them in this world because I'm in this world. I'm source on earth. right? We're going to use them, right? Stabilizing illusions. Let me see if I messed up the rest. Okay, at this part I got right. Right? We seal the process of magic, right? We call this our imagination, right? And your imagination is magical, isn't it? Now it's time to bring that on earth as it is in heaven, as it is in your meditation, right? We're going to give way to the process of the heart, right? We got into our heart space before we start talking about this. I know I see all these songs, y'all singing and y'all dancing in joy in the chat. That's the heart. That's the compassionate one. We're going to play with these illusions, stabilizing this space. Again, what if we decide what this planet is going to do? How would we do it? Right? We still in the process of our imagination, right? With the lunar tone of challenge. Beyond these challenge, what we think is a challenge, right? You know, a challenge, if you look up the history of that word, right? All of these words, these English words come from war, right? It means trickery. The first time it was used, I think it's a Latin word. It's a trick. What have we been talking about? Primary and secondary. We've been talking about it. We've been talking about it this whole time. That it's a trick. The secondary energy got us tricked into thinking it's a challenge. Again, I ask, is an ant a challenge to a rhinoceros? One ant. I ain't talking about, you know, when they get together, they might do something. Maybe. But one ant and one rhinoceros. Is it a challenge? That's how we've been tricked. We've been hoodwinked. Oh, this monkey got me up here having fun, right? To thinking that our so-called problems are challenges. What they say? Your arm's too short to box with. Yeah, bamboozle. There you go. Your arm's too short to box with God. All of these things. What if it's an ant and a rhinoceros? Can a rhinoceros even see an ant? Our situations, our circumstances, our problems, our karmas, traumas, dramas got us in a secondary illusion of challenges that trick us into not being primary. Right? Erykah Badu got a song about, she said, you built a wall, a 20-foot wall, so I couldn't see. And once I got off my knees, I realized that I was 20 feet tall. I ain't saying the words right? But that was the song. It's a trick. Challenges are tricks. Right? Yeah, there you go. You get off your knees, you might recall you're 20 feet tall. Right, there you go. Thank you, sister. Yeah, yes, that's it. Yep. It's a trick. You're primary. What is going to challenge the Almighty on earth in physical form? Except the Almighty. And when we remember ourselves in that full capacity, all this fighting is going to stop. What you got to fight for? What's the fight about? We wouldn't even want to control each other. We wouldn't even want to be the greatest one of them all. Right? That's a war concept. Let's start thinking about what's not war. Right? We wouldn't be trying to compete with each other. We'd be ashaying each other and saying, oh my God, what can we do with this world? Woo-wee. I'm glad I came down here. I get to feel myself. And I see a whole bunch of myself every time I look at one of you. And you say the same thing. We're looking at each other like that because we all connected anyway. As I say, that's why we be talking about each other all the time, because we connected. We just do it with a war consciousness. What happens when we start talking about each other and we're not at war? We're not in conflict. We're not in deficit. You see? We're guided, and we're guided by the power of abundance. We're guided by this dream, right? And dream also. Dreams are not, supposed to be nightmares. That word, right, comes from what is I forget, drum, right? It's also pleasant. And as we know, that blue night brings that intuition into this realm. So you go and get things. What do we had a whole bunch of magical things here? We just ain't, the dampeners are on. And now they're being removed. We're removing them because we just said no more. I don't want that shit on me no more. It's real simple. We ain't got to be all deep. You ain't got to have all the moves. If you want to, that's fine. Y'all know I'm always talking about that because I'll be the first one sitting there. Ooh, we doing mudras? Okay. Which one? Right? We been up gang signs. Whatever. I'll be first one. But I'm just saying sometimes, it's just, you got to just get into how you feel. Say, get this shit off of me. Get it off. I don't want this on me no more. No more dampeners. No dampeners. I'll say it that way. I am here to find out what it is really like to be God on earth. Right? Not always trying to fix and heal something. And I'm not ignoring where we have been. I'm not ignoring the so-called things that we have going on in our lives, right? But we've been under a dampened field for a long time, right? I'm saying don't be limited by it. It's not your limitation. Right? We're not ignoring, we're not pretending that your right ankle, your right toe don't hurt, or whatever, and you ain't got no money and your relationship ain't right. That's fine. What if it's not your limit? That might open up a whole bunch of opportunities just by saying that. What if it's not your limit? What if you really are God on earth? What if you really are the goddess on earth, the divine entity, divine being, infinite being, whatever on earth? And that's how you being guided and directed. Right? Let's see if I put the right slide up here for the, I did. Okay. For the blue monkey. Right. Let's talk about it. Right. Here's one of the reasons why you don't have to be underneath these challenges, right? The blue monkey channels life force, channels the red serpent. Come on, Risha Stone. I see you on here, right? Sky serpent, right? The blue monkey channels life force. That's the red serpent. Right? We got Mama Tahita on here. That's our Tayo Sitiji, right? Arisha Stone carries that title, right? That Tayo, right? That is those who have the sacred, what's the word I'm looking for? Vital force of the serpent. So the monkey channels that energy. The mind of the blue monkey is the dragon, right? The primary force. So this is why it's not worried about these illusions, the trickery. It says, I'll use them. I'm Big Mama. I'm going to use them. That's what we're doing? Okay, that's what the world is right now. I'm going to use them. No problem. I'm primary force. I'm the primal force. What am I? I ain't got to worry about none of this. It's my universe. I'll use them, right? The way that the blue monkey moves is through the heart space, right? We put it in motion. That's how we started this session. We was in our feelings. We was moving through the heart, right? We weighed and we showing the process of heart, the weighing of the heart. That's how we moved, right? Got me up here, tears in my eye, right? I'm laughing so hard, right? Right. So we put that into a process. Being primary force, we put it into a process. That's the blue monkey, right? Why am I saying process? If y'all, right? Is because the monkey transfers this process, this monkey 171, right? It's the transformation of that process of heart, taking it into the primary force, right? Putting in the primary force, and then the emotional body is the white dog, which is that whole weighing of the heart process, right? That's how we move into our true art. That's we show up as the artist. That's the physical body of the blue monkey is the artist, the star. We got Mama Phyllis, right, is a star, right? The crystal star. And so we move into this art, right? Or we can play with these words, as we say with the illusions, right? We play with these words, these spell of words, right? How we art, right? They used to say that. How art thou, right? You learn Shakespeare and all that shit, right? How art thou? How are you? That's how you show up. You show up as the way shower in beauty and elegance, not in pain and suffering because you've been held down. You've been, you've been tricked down. You've been tricked into thinking that these secondaries are primary. It's time for us to be primary and play with these illusions. Play, dance, enjoy, be in your heart space. Love who you are. It's the law, right? We talk about the white dog, talk about loyalty. It's the law here, right? Be loyal to to this true expression. Play around in this space, and let's create a better place. When we don't even have to have this thing, this dichotomy, like, ooh, well, this is good. It feels so good, but it's so bad. It's time to shift. Let it go. Right? So with that, y'all, the question on the table is, how do you play with illusions? Right? And hopefully we have given you something to think about, right? Some motivation, some inspiration to move forward with. And I love y'all. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Hotep.
Much gratitude, High Priestess. That was so good. That was great. It reminded me of being young, and when I needed to get up and go to school, if I wasn't getting up quick enough from my mom, she would go get a rag and put cold water on it and throw it right on my face. And I would be like, okay, I get it. Nothing else to say. Just time to do it. So much gratitude for the wisdom, for reaching like you do. Like and subscribe if you have not done so, and share it with like-minded individuals. Have an amazing heptad, and peace, peace, peace.
Immortal. Yeah. Came out the portal, immortal into a human body. I've been existing way before the earth had Anunnakis. Intergalactical battles, intergalactical travels, infinitely going through stars. The universe will unravel all of its secrets. Peep it, I'm starting to leak it. Time for truth is coming. 100, it's time to seek it. Expanding my perception through the spectrum of light. I'm going in with spectrum and the shit's out of sight. We indigo children, yeah, we building frequencies through the ceiling. Penetrating through reality, a marvelous feeling. Regardless, we're healing these humans that be claiming we demonic. The resonance goes over their heads, we super cosmic. Your logic is ignorance mixed with fear in your thinking. My pineal gland is flooded, son, that shit don't be blinking. Sinking into your subconscious like a song with no words. The way I come up with these symbols of letters is absurd. Hey yo, my rhymes are like angelic beings. The shit is freeing, so pure that if you were born blind, I'll have you seeing. Breathing in a multi-dimensional light so captivating. Double helix is nonsense, so what I'm activating, feel the power from within, seeping right through my skin. From the earth into my feet as it goes up to my chin. It got me grinning. Rotation like spirals, my music spinning. I told you that I don't be playing, still I'm always winning. Fibonacci to the haters, curve them right to the side. They don't understand the energy, it comes from inside. So inside is what I master. Used to be a disaster. Now I'm gladly elevating to a whole new chapter. Yeah, I'm giving birth to a whole new style. I incarnated through New York. Yeah, I rep Long Island. Don't get it twisted though. I'm truly repping this earth. I came to free all these humans and show you all what you're worth. Immortal. Yeah, raising your frequencies one soul at a time. As I pass this mic to my boy Spectrum, yo Spectrum, light that up, kid.
They tried to tell me I'm mortal, I told them I was immortal. They asked me what makes me different, I asked them what makes you normal. I just followed my morals and I unfollowed the formal. Hopped on a track with crews, now we straight cruising through portals. I download the Metatron, I'm reversing it till I'm dead and gone. If you think I'm dope, then you said it wrong. Not trying to flex, but I'm hella strong. Mine did things you never seen. When I say mine, you know what I mean. I'm the most when I'm in my mode, and y'all averages like the mean. I really didn't mean to go intervene. I'm the middleman, chilling in between. You should do the math, we ain't keeping score. But I just hit a 3.14. I cook it up, make it look easy as pie. I'm moving in silence and seeing the sign. I am the G, if you remove me, all you gon' see is your sins. This is a big game of sins, the simulation is breaking again. I'm taking control, creating my soul, and if the truth fits, I'm breaking it in. Breaking it. All I really know is that I'll never know. I've been here for forever, don't know when to go. I think that indicates that I'm an indigo. In that case, I'm in the go. Green light, my heart, chakra booming. Solar plexus, Lexus zooming. You assuming that I'm human. I'm just being what you doing. I I've been teaching teachers frequently. It's apparent I'm a parent when it comes to raising frequencies. The way I'm living life, I haven't rest in peace recently. Immortal with my technique, but my ego dying easily. Death is teasing me by leaving me with DMT. Now it seems to me that everything I see is seeing me. Life is just an infinite circle with a twist. I used to wanna be like them, now they do not exist.
Immortal.
We are spreading the word about an energy vigil dedicated to the betterment of melanin-dominant people worldwide. It is called Melanin Emerging Collective Consciousness Alignment. As you know, there are groups across the world that pray and meditate for global peace and love. Though this has benefited the world, it is obvious that more is needed to dissolve the systematic and individual oppression of melanin-dominant people worldwide. Our collective is transmitting frequencies right now. Each week, a different melanin-dominant group is accountable for generating and holding the frequency. We began transmitting on Fall Equinox 2019. To find out more or get involved in this movement, check out our website at www.melaninfrequency.org.